I head back to the inn and wait for the others to return. The sun has completely set as I step back into the streets. I look up at the night sky. The stars are especially clear tonight as they twinkle amidst the darkness. Wait, why am I outside? I thought I went to the inn. Amelia and Zack stand outside the inn, staring at something. I can't see their faces too clearly, but Amelia seems pensive. Zack continually glances around. As I approach, I don't notice the uneven cobblestone and miss a step. Luckily, I catch myself before I fall. That was close. I'm thankful the darkness hid my stumble. I don't remember any of the other cities being this dark at night. I follow Amelia's line of sight and notice a darkened lamppost. Maybe the light bulb's gone out. Looking further down the street, I see that the street lamp after this one is lit, but the one after that is dark again.
This is highly unusual.
Is it? It seems like every other lamp is out. That can't be a coincidence. Amelia frowns.
That is the conclusion we came to as well.
I peek inside the nearest lamp.
Do you see a crystal?
I squint as I peer into the darkness. I can't make out any shapes, but I can't make out any shapes, but I can't tell if it's because it's too dark or there's nothing inside. I think this one might be empty. Zack looks suspicious while Amelia frowns in concern.
Surely the town would not be so negligent in their maintenance and upkeep.
It's a possibility.
Maybe the town has no money. Maybe the town just doesn't care. Maybe someone's been stealing crystals, but why would they steal every other one? I mean, I wouldn't think a place like this has no money, and I wouldn't think they wouldn't care either. Why have street lamps if you're not going to use them? So I'm going to say stealing. It looks like someone's been stealing crystals. Zack looks skeptical, while Amelia looks thoughtful.
The likelihood of crystals being stolen from lamps is very low. It is more likely that either the town is purely negligent, or it is short in resources for replacements.
Like, I still think it would be weird if someone were stealing them to steal every other one. But it doesn't seem like the town is short on money. Like, from what we've seen, it has a carnival. It's bustling enough to have a carnival. Like, if you're short on money, I don't think you would sustain a carnival. You know what I mean? And why would you be that negligent? I mean, I guess if you're just short on resources, but I don't know why they'd be short on resources. The game will tell me.
Whatever the theory, we should bring this to someone's attention.
That makes sense. Amelia searches our surroundings and spots a guard patrolling on a nearby lane. We quickly approach him. Excuse me.
What is it?
We notice that half of your lamps are dark. Before I can finish my sentence, the guard sighs wearily.
We just can't replace them fast enough. Every day they keep taking more and more. That's actually what I've been doing now. I'm counting how many need to be replaced tonight.
Sorry, by they keep taking more and more, do you mean someone keeps taking crystals, or the crystals keep taking more and more energy? But if so, why would it be every other lamppost? Wait, are you saying someone's been stealing the crystals?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Ha! I was right!
Sounds crazy,
In your
right?
face, Zack! You pretentious prick. I'm just kidding, he's not. Not at all. It's the most logical conclusion. Amelia looks impressed that I guessed correctly.
What's the point of that?
Your guess is as good as mine. They're really not worth much.
Have there been any other relevant thefts?
Sure, it's not just lamp crystals that they're stealing. They're stealing pretty much any kind of crystal that they can get their hands on. It's been going on for a few weeks now, and I'm at my wit's end. We've got a reward out for anyone who knows anything, but we've still gotten no leads.
Let's get ourselves a reward, everybody.
Anyways, if you guys see something, let me know. I've got to get started on replacing these crystals before even more get taken.
I think he said anyways. Ugh. Amelia, Zack, and I stand in silence as the guard leaves. I'm not even from here, and I can tell that something really weird is going on. Based on Amelia and Zack's expressions, it must be pretty bad.
We should get back.
Yes, we should inform Kara and Leanne.
Clicked a little too early, I'm sorry. We follow Zack to the inn where Leanna and Kara are waiting and exchange greetings. Any news?
I heard there was someone who could help, but I haven't been able to track him down. I'm sure I'll have an answer tomorrow.
She glances outside the window.
Has anyone else noticed how dark it is around here?
Someone has been stealing the lamp crystals. That is what the guard informed us.
Kara raises an eyebrow.
Must be some pretty desperate thieves out there.
Why do you say that?
Well, lamp crystals give essentially no return. They don't sell for anything because they're all specifically marked to be easily identified as this type of crystal.
Oh. Something fishy's going on. How do you know this? Why does every place we go go-to seem to be dysfunctional. How do you know this? Sounds like something you've learned from personal experience. Kara winks.
It's my job to appraise the value of things.
That skill seems valuable. How about you praise the value of me? Makes sense. Okay. That's just a lame joke. Makes sense. I nod. That makes sense.
We should look into this.
I was gonna say, when is she gonna open her
Can't think
eye?
of any reason why someone would want lamp crystals. And I'd like to know what they're doing with them.
Leanna bites her lip as she thinks, then nods, coming to a decision.
You're right. We should investigate.
Yep.
Leanna stops and stares at Zach.
Really? I'm a bit surprised, but glad to see this side of you.
Why are you surprised?
It sounds like the guards could use our help figuring out this mystery.
But why are you surprised?
Yep.
I mean, I'm surprised by the second yup, but I'm definitely not surprised by him wanting to help. He's wanted to help in the past, he's refused payments in the past, or maybe not payment. No, he's insisted upon paying, there we go. I don't know. Again, Leanna stares at Zach, a little more uncertain than before. Kara grins slyly.
They're offering a reward for any information, aren't they?
Yep.
Leanna sighs. But even without that,
Should've guessed.
he's down to help. Like, again, going back to the first dude with the taxes and everything. Like, he didn't have to do any of that, but he told the guard off and he was defending the merchant. And then when the merchant, offered to give him his discharger for free, like the repaired one, he insisted upon paying. Like, he's not a money pincher, you know? He's not, super big on that. Like, obviously he likes money, and as a mercenary, he has to work for it and all that. But he's clearly been shown to be willing to help for nothing in the past. So, none of this should be happening, I don't think.
Regardless, our first plan of action should be to search for any irregularities in energy.
I mean, I assume it's supposed to be kind of humorous, where it's like, oh, Zach, just doing it for the money, aren't you? But, for real, it's that kind of, I don't know, I feel like that's a little bit insulting to the character they've built up for him so far. Again, yeah, mercenary, money is important, but he's also been shown to be more than that. He's been shown to be better than that, to be doing things of his own volition just because it's good, just because it's the right thing to do, so I don't know. I mean, I guess this doesn't seem like any sort of terrible tragedy, and so looking into it, maybe it wouldn't come up with anything like, oh, we just stopped a terrible evil from happening. We are good people, But still.
Amelia and I can do a scan of the city to see if anything shows up on the scanner.
Good plan. We follow as the two of them step outside of the inn and begin to fiddle with their manipulators. They pace the lengths of the streets, but don't seem to trail too far away. Aren't you guys going to walk the perimeter of the city or something?
There is no need for such inefficiencies when we could just perform a radio scan.
Leanna frowns.
I'm not picking up any energy spikes or unusual readings.
Amelia continues to pace, then pauses. She fiddles with her manipulator again, then turns down a side street. Hey, wait! She pauses again, then looks up.
Very curious. There is energy residue scattered throughout the city, except for one area in the southern corner of town. Oh, my scan radius doesn't reach that far. So the southern corner has 0 energy readings? Precisely.
And I'm just like, wait, don't go in there! And then they just talk as normal.
The remaining lamp crystals in the area should at least be giving off a pulse of energy. If even the pulse is missing, then that would indicate the place is completely dark. We must go in this direction.
Yeah, so I definitely missed some things with my thought process. As in, that distracted me from what was going on. But we're gonna follow him to something that's not right. Amelia leads the way, following her manipulator. As we continue to walk, the cobblestones underfoot change slightly. They're looser and more uneven than in the heart of the city. The buildings are weathered and spotted with patchwork brickwork. Yep. The alleys feel dimmer here than in the center of town, as an even greater majority of street lamps are dark. The buildings and houses become more spread out as we reach the outskirts of the city. The further we travel, the more rundown the houses become. Crumbled walls from buildings and debris litters the streets. I watch my footing carefully as the dim lighting makes it easy to trip and fall. Are we still in the city?
Technically, yes. We're in the remains of the last battle that occurred in Stonecrest.
You mean the one between Elena and Void?
That's right. This is part of the original city, which hasn't been restored yet.
How long ago was that? Amelia pauses in front of a dilapidated house.
This is the area of the irregularity.
The place is quiet. Too quiet. Does anyone even live here?
Probably not, so it could make a good hideout.
Let's go in.
Kara gingerly opens the door, which is falling off its hinges, and slips inside. I tentatively follow her, and the rest of the team trickles in. It looks like this was once a living room with a fireplace and a broken table in the corner. A hallway connects to it and leads into separate rooms.
We should split up and search the rooms.
I agree with Zach. Never split up! Doesn't matter what we do. Yeah. Agreed. We'll be sure to find it faster if we do. We won't be as safe, but efficiency.
It could be dangerous. Someone is using cloaking magic to mask the heightened energies of the crystals. That doesn't just sound like a regular thief to me.
Do you know they're using cloaking magic to mask the heightened energies of the crystals? Do we know that?
We'll go in groups.
No need. I think I found it.
Oh good, so that whole thing was made irrelevant. Awesome. Kara grins as she stands on top of a throw rug in the back hallway. She stomps twice over the rug and I hear a muffled hollow thump. Then she steps off the rug and stomps again, which reveals a much thicker sound.
I believe we found ourselves a way down.
How did you find that so quickly?
This house is literally falling apart, and there are no other decorations besides this rug. That's pretty suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah. She kicks at the rug, which slides away to reveal discolored wooden panels. A latch nestles into the wood. Zach pulls on the latch and the door swings upward. We peek inside and a handful of young faces stare back at us. Their hair is matted and dirt streaks their cheeks. Once the surprise wears off, they pull back from the entrance and retreat further into the basement. Forgoing the ladder, Zach jumps into the basement. Leanna follows him down, and unlike Zach, lands lightly and gracefully on her feet. That must be her magic at use. Amelia takes the ladder down, as does Kara, who jumps off when she's closer to the ground. Yeah, I'm pretty sure landing wrong on my ankle is going to be the biggest buzzkill. I better play it safe and take the ladder down. The rest of the team already has the children cornered beside a glowing pile of crystals. I count 5 of them as they huddle together. Zach stands with his arms crossed, blocking the kids from trying to run. Kara stands beside him, her usual grin replaced with a grim expression. Amelia inspects the crystals while Leanna kneels by the kids.
I can confirm that these are the crystals we are looking for. Where did you get these crystals?
The children look uncomfortably amongst each other.
You don't have to be afraid. I'm a mage knight, see? I'm here to help.
Maybe. She gives a soft smile as she shows them her insignia. Some of the younger kids hang their head, but an older boy straightens up and puts on a defiant scowl.
We didn't do anything wrong. We did exactly what the man said.
Yeah, the man!
What man?
He clenches his jaw and refuses to speak.
Please, let me help you.
As the kids refuse to talk, Leanna looks helplessly back at us. Kara gently pulls Leanna to her feet and leads her away.
These kids are obviously alone and afraid. They're not going to talk to the guards.
I'm not a guard.
To them, you may as well be.
Kara leans down and addresses the older kid.
You've got a nice pile of crystals there. Are you looking to sell them?
The boy crosses his arms. Kara reaches into her purse and pulls out a coin.
I'd like to buy one off of you.
The younger children stare hungrily at the coin and cast questioning glances at the boy. He eyes the coin longingly, but looks uncertain.
We can't sell it to you.
Why's that?
He quiets down again, but a younger boy pipes up.
He'll get angry if we don't have enough.
You sound older than the other one.
The man, well, does he take care of you?
The first boy protectively pushes the younger boy back.
He gives us money if we can get him crystals.
These kinds of crystals.
Kara points to the pile.
Annie, the bigger ones get us more coins, but they're all out of them now.
And that's why you've been taking lamp crystals.
He looks away and doesn't answer. Kara smiles warmly.
It's okay. I won't tell anyone if you don't.
That's not true. The boy looks back at her.
So what does the man want with the crystals?
I don't know. He just wants them. A lot of them.
We should return the lamp crystals to the guard.
A little girl begins to cry.
No! Please don't take them away! The man's coming back soon, and he'll get angry if we don't have them.
He's coming back, you say? Time for an ambush from the sounds of it. Kara leans down and pats the little girl reassuringly.
Don't cry. We won't take the crystals.
You won't?
She chokes out her words between sniffles.
Nope. We don't want the man to be angry. He could be pretty scary if he's angry, right?
The little girl calms down a bit and nods vigorously. She slips her hand into the older boy's hand. Yeah, she slips her hand into the older boy's hand and he squeezes reassuringly.
Tell me, when is the man coming?
He comes at the end of the week, so tomorrow evening.
You know, super casual like that. He nods. Leanna looks back at the rest of us.
We should go.
Kara nods. Alright, so we have a whole day, I guess, to plot our ambush. We're grim as we exit the house and head back towards the inn. Those kids. It's obvious they're orphans. What happened to their parents? Glancing at Kara, she looks equally pensive and disturbed by the children's unfortunate situation.
We'll have to camp out by their hideout tomorrow evening and see when the man shows up. Then follow him and see where he's going and what he's doing with the crystals.
Leanna furrows her brow.
I really can't imagine what he could want with all these crystals.
Amelia places a finger to her lips in thought.
It is a very perplexing situation.
I mean, and I can't offer many ideas here just because I don't exactly know how the crystals work in this world. I mean, what I figured was even though the lamp crystals weren't, like, valuable, that someone was stocking them up in order to use them all together for some purpose, but I just don't know how it works.
Well, I suppose there's no dwelling on it now.
What do you think will happen to those kids? Zach shrugs.
Probably get sent to an orphanage.
I'm a bit surprised they aren't already in one.
They're just trying to survive.
Kara is unusually silent this whole time. Are you okay, Kara? She immediately perks up and flashes me a smile.
Of course, just thinking about our next plan of action. I'll be heading out early to see if I can get any more information on where to go next, so I better get some rest.
Yup.
Rest sounds like a good idea for all of us.
As we reach the inn, we all say our goodnights and head to our respective rooms. Thoughts of the children's situation disturb me, and it takes me a while before I inevitably drift to sleep. Happy sleep time music, everybody! Man, I feel like I've been playing a lot longer than I actually have, just looking at my recording timer now. Sunlight falls across my eyes, pulling me awake. I stir and stretch widely. That was the best sleep I've had since arriving to Terra. What time is it? I squint at the sun shining through the window. It seems like it's pretty late. I sit up and the pongo bounces on the foot of the bed enthusiastically.
Boy!
Oh, when did you get in here? He bounces again and rolls over to cuddle against me. Aww. Zach has already left the room. I wonder if anyone else is around. Throwing off my blankets, I get ready for the day and head downstairs. There are a few patrons already frequenting the lobby, but no sign of my team. Kara said she was going to get an early start, but I'm not sure where everyone else went. We did say we'd meet back up here this evening, so I guess I'll see them then. I haven't gotten anything planned today though, so I'm just going to take it easy. I begin walking towards the town square. I follow my feet as it wanders the streets, taking my time and enjoying the bustle of the town. I'd forgotten how relaxing it is to have nothing on the agenda.
Boy!
Eventually, we reach the square. So I guess me, like, at this point, I guess I've just kind of completely forgotten about my whole new morning routine of, like, sword practice and such. Because I don't think I've ever done that since we first did it with Leanna. I recognize the statue of Elena. And there's a dog! A small brown dog, only a little larger than the pongo, watches us. His tail wags slowly when he catches our attention. Pet the dog, play fetch, ew dogs, bork bork! Pet the dog. Hey dog, are you lost? The dog wags his tail. I extend my hand and he cautiously approaches. After giving me a few good exploratory sniffs, he barks excitedly. Good boy. His tongue lolls out as I scratch behind his ears. The Pongo bounces angrily. The dog stares at the Pongo as if noticing him for the first time. The Pongo pouts and jumps even higher. The dog cowers and whines. Pongo, what's up with you? I go to pet the dog, but the Pongo butts my hand away. You little jealous bugger. Are you jealous? I reach out a hand and pat the Pongo, who seems to calm down slightly. The dog perks up as the Pongo relaxes. He wags his tail as he nuzzles the Pongo. The Pongo bristles at the dog's touch and scrambles back. He hops away, but the dog happily chases him. As the dog catches up, he licks the Pongo, who grimaces. Aw, he's playing with you. A little girl races over to the dog, who barks excitedly at her presence. She throws her arms around him and holds him close as he licks her face.
I thought I lost you.
Suddenly, she notices the Pongo and her eyes grow wide.
Oh, you're so cute.
She gently pats the Pongo on the head as his little frown melts into a smile.
Boy.
That's right.
Are you lost too? Boy.
He hops over to me. The girl looks me over, then smiles shyly.
Oh, hi.
Hey, is that your dog? She nods.
Thanks for finding him for me. Sometimes he's too fast and I can't catch him.
Mocha sniffs around my feet and nudges my hand to be petted, but the Pongo bounces between us.
Boy.
The girl giggles and waves.
I guess we should be leaving. Bye-bye, little Pongo friend. Thanks for keeping Mocha company.
Bye. Before Mocha can escape again, the girl slips a leash around his collar and the two of them gradually disappear from view. I look down at my Pongo, who looks back up at me. I pull him on my shoulder. I smile and pat his head affectionately. He squirms happily against me, then hops up onto my shoulder and nuzzles my face. How about we continue on that walk together,
Bye.
Jealous little bugger. Together, we head further into town. I decide to check out some of the storefronts and streets that I didn't get a chance to see yesterday. The Pongo wanders off whenever it gets too crowded, but he always seems to find his way back to me. That's true throughout the entire game so far. After most of the day has passed, I decide it's time to return to the inn. Leanna, Amelia, and Zach are already there waiting. Leanna stands when I arrive.
Here, I got you something.
Pour moi? She passes me a gauntlet similar to the one on her wrist. The sphere inlaid is the same color as Leanna's. That must be a wind crystal. Is this a manipulator?
Yeah, I was thinking about your last attempt at casting, and I figured this might be more helpful with future training.
That's pretty cool. I got a sword and a manipulator now, guys.
Having the manipulator as a focal point of concentration is how Amelia and I learned to cast.
Thanks. Kara finally returns and the attention shifts to her.
The crystal pickup will happen soon. We should start heading over.
Leanna nods.
Once they complete the exchange, we should follow the guy to see if he leads us to their hideout. He might have other partners, so we should be on guard.
I still can't think of why they'd want these crystals.
Energy crystals have varying utilizations, some of which are outlawed.
Kara seems a bit surprised, but Leanna doesn't react to that. Thinking about what these outlawed utilizations could be makes me uneasy.
We have our plan. Let's get started.
We trace back to the ruins and find the abandoned house with the children. Instead of entering, we spread out around the perimeter to maximize visibility on anyone approaching. Kara and I stay close to the house and hide behind some fallen bricks. Our field of vision is limited, but we're close enough to overhear any conversations that take place inside. After we position ourselves, we wait. We don't know when the man's going to show up, and after about 20 minutes I start to get fidgety. I wish the kids had given us the time. Who knows how long we'll be stuck out here for? My legs are starting to cramp, but as I shift, Kara shoots me a warning glance and I force myself to push through it. Finally, a man approaches. He looks to be in his 20s, and surprisingly, wears something that resembles a beanie on his head. Kara yanks my collar so we duck down. She covers my mouth with her hand and puts a finger to her lips. Looks like our job is to listen in. The others will be our eyes. It looks like our job is to listen in, yeah. I hear a door creak, followed by the faint sound of footsteps.
Hey yo, you punks got my crystals or what?
Look, he's somewhat important because he has a picture down here. I listen for any extra footsteps, but it sounds like the man came solo.
Here.
There was a rustling of a bag being opened.
What is this? These crystals are weak, yo.
So are the crystals gonna be used for like drugs or something?
That's all we could find.
Nah, this ain't good, man.
Sorry.
The boy's voice is weak.
Huh.
The bag closes and the man grunts as he lifts it up.
Wait, where are our coins?
You'll get your payment when you deliver, yo. This is only half of what you promised.
There's a silence. I carefully peek out to see the boy straining with his hands clenched.
Fine.
That's what I thought.
The stranger lugs the bag over his shoulder. I quickly duck back down as he exits the house. Time to go. I turn to face Kara, who wears a serious frown and has fury in her eyes. I don't think I've ever seen her angry before, let alone this angry. She looks like she's about to rip that guy's head off. Yeah, well, when you know where those kids are coming from and you know the kind of situation they're in, it hurts. Kara?
Did you not see that? We should take him out now.
I mean, since the children, I assume she was also an orphan. Like, I just assume she's also been in that situation. I could be wrong. Think about the bigger picture. He could just be a messenger. We have to stick to the plan. Kara clenches and unclenches her jaw. Then she nods, still fuming.
I know you're right, but still.
He'll get his justice soon enough.
Let's hurry up and go.
Yeah. We trail the... Wait, thinking back on that, would either of those options have led to a different situation? Because, you know, neither of them were in support of her. One was thinking of the bigger picture, and one was don't be stupid. You know, like, it's more rude, but it's the same thing. Either one, it's telling her not to, like, rush forward. So essentially, it seems like it was a pointless dialogue option. Which kind of seems like a lot of this game. We trail the man out of Stonecrest, making sure to stay behind buildings and keep to the shadows so as not to be spotted. Kara slips in and out of the alleys with ease, and it takes a lot of my concentration not to lose her. I'm going to clarify really quickly that when I say that, you know, I'm still enjoying the game and everything, but like I talked about at the end of my last recording session, it really seems like I'm more of a spectator in this game. Like, Ace Academy, again, I felt like the things I said or did had more of an impact. Even in cases where they didn't necessarily, I still felt like they had more of an impact. And here, it kind of seems like everything is more, you know, like they give me a couple chances to participate. You know, like now and then I get to say something or do something. But it seems like ultimately, I'm just following along with the story. I mean, we especially see those moments where it's like it gives me 4 different options or whatever, and I can go through each of them. It doesn't matter which one I pick, because, like, I mean, in some cases it does, but I could just go through and see the other ones anyway, so, yeah. Anyway, I already read this part. No wonder she's always sneaking up on us. I assume the rest of our team is also following him, as I'm unable to spot them. That's for the best. The less chance of being noticed, the better. Outside of the city gates, it's a little harder to stay hidden as it opens out into a more open field. At least since we're spread out, it won't be easy for him to escape if he tries to. We successfully follow him to what looks like an abandoned train car. There's some kind of dark smoke emitting from the top. The man pauses and we crouch lower behind cover as he looks around. He doesn't spot any of us and enters the train. Kara again puts her finger to her lips and I nod. Staying low, we sneak towards the train. The windows are all blocked off, but we crouch below them anyway. I can hear muffled voices as I gently press my ear against the train.
Yo, Mr. White!
Jesse, how many times do I have to tell you to call me Heisenberg?
I just want to say that I've never seen Breaking Bad, but I still guessed that it was about drugs once I saw who the other dude was. The man speaks softly, but his tone is strict and disapproving.
My bad, but I got some crystals.
Let's see.
There aren't many and they're pretty small. I don't think we'd be able to get much out of them anyway.
It doesn't matter their size. Once we're done cooking them, they'll be exponentially more effective.
I don't know, man. They're tiny. How does that even work?
It's a simple matter of science.
Ah, science.
You serious? You can do something like that?
Indeed.
Yeah, Mr. White. Yeah, science.
Heisenberg.
Oh, right. My bad, yo.
I hear faint clanging of glassware. I wish I could see what they're doing. A sharp snap cracks somewhere from behind me. What was that? I shift out of position to look behind me and see an animal scampering away. As I breath a sigh of relief, because that's not breathe, because breathe has an E at the end, I notice the absence of noise in the train.
What was that?
Before I have a chance to get down, one of the windows swing open and I'm face to face with both of them. The younger man with the beanie, Jesse, stares at me with wild eyes. The second man is much older, maybe the age of his father, and fixes me with an inscrutable stare. He looks surprisingly normal, not like someone who'd get mixed up with something shady. Jesse turns around and darts out of the back exit.
Run!
Mr. White joins him as Kara and I sprint to the other side of the train. Thankfully, Leanna and Zach are already there. Leanna points her blade at them.
Surrender and come with us peacefully.
Jesse looks like he's about to bolt, but Zach fixes his discharger on him.
I wouldn't move if I were you.
Crap, what do we do? Why are you laughing at a time like this?
Because he's prepared! He's Heisenberg! Amelia stands a good distance away, her manipulator's glowing. After looking over the older man, she frowns.
The branding of void.
Quite the observation, young miss.
Wait, what? You're a part of Void?
Mr. White merely smiles.
I didn't sign up for this!
Don't be so naive. You think the crystals were just going to magically create more energy?
Your intent was to perform shadow transmutation on the crystals to create tainted spheres.
Again, he doesn't answer.
It appears confrontation is imminent.
Why don't we even up the odds?
What does that mean? With a flash, Mr. White grabs two shadowy spheres from his belt, similar to the one I saw on Raven Pass. He throws them to the ground and a dark smog emits, curling in the air. Leanna reacts first and blasts her wind magic to dissipate the smoke. In its place are two shadow creatures. Their warped appendages are nothing that I recognize, and their long shadow claws come into a sharp point. This is the stuff of nightmares, based upon my imagination. They stand between us and Mr. White, with Jesse cowering beside him.
Shadow familiars!
This is getting way too crazy for me. I'm out.
Jesse breaks into a sprint and Kara immediately gives chase.
I've got him!
The two of them dash out of sight.
Unfortunately, you disrupted my work, which means I have to start all over again. So, I'm going to get going.
He channels a spell and starts to run. As he continues to chant the spell, shadows crawl up his legs, threatening to engulf him completely in shadow. We can't let him get away! Leanna looks from the man to the familiars.
As much as I want to go after him, our top priority is to defeat these shadow creatures.
Alright.
Indeed. Shadow familiars this close in proximity to a city can wreak havoc and incite widespread panic.
It takes so long for them to talk. They would know better than I, and I trust their instincts. I look back at Heisenberg being swallowed by shadow. Once the shadows fade away, he disappears. Zach readies his dischargers, a small smile on his face. Sorry, I was thinking about grammar again.
Sounds like a challenge.
My heart races as I draw my blade. This is getting crazy. Alright, am I clicking and stuff? Click the icons in the display to order. Okay, wait. Okay, now I see. So that... Win! I win! As Leanna, Zach, and I wear down the Shadow Familiars, Amelia stays out of range, charging her attacks. The magic attacks that she lets loose are far more powerful than ours, as they rips chunks out of the shadow creatures. Now I understand why everyone's so impressed when they talk about mage casters.
The hostile shadow familiars have been vanquished.
Where's my easy button? Leanna's magical glow and the charge on her blade fade as she stops channeling her magic.
We did it!
Yeah, that was super easy. I smile as I try to catch my breath. Looking around, Leanna, Zach, and Amelia look equally exhausted. They must have gone all out. This battle was no walk in the park. And there were only two Shadow Familiars to fight. Imagine if we had to face an army of them. I shiver at the thought. As we wind down, Amelia and Leanna gather to do one last scan with their manipulators. Zach looks over my way.
Looks like some of that training is finally paying off.
Thank you. I'm so mad at you for shooting me that time. I hope to get even stronger. I nod. And I intend to keep training.
Good.
Hey!
Hi! We turn at the sound of Kara's voice. She waves at us with one hand as she uses the other to drag Jesse back. She plops him down in front of us and he falls ungracefully to the ground. I see that his hands are bound. Kara stands over him, her face grim.
Now, you're going to tell us exactly what you know.
I don't know jack squat. Mr. White was paying me to get crystals, and that's it, yo!
So you were not an accomplice to the shadow transmutation.
I don't even know what the shadow transportation is!
Transmutation.
Transmutation.
Exactly!
We glare at him.
Look, I made a few deliveries to him. The first couple of times he wouldn't tell me what he did, but paid some good coin. But later he said he was going to show me so I could help with his operations. He was going to give solid pay for that too, yo.
I look him up and down. He stares desperately at us, and it's clear to me he's scared. This doesn't seem like the kind of man Void would trust with any kind of responsibilities. I'm inclined to believe he's just looking for some fast cash. Kara seems skeptical, but Amelia and Leanna seem to have come to the same conclusion I have. Zach crosses his arms.
Better hope the guards believe your story.
Jesse looks like he's about to protest, but sighs instead. I think he realizes there's no chance he's going to escape.
The bag of stolen crystals is in there. He didn't grab it before running out.
Yeah, I mean, we have his whole, area of operations here. He could always set up new ones, but there's probably a lot of good evidence in that train. Leanna enters the train and returns with a bulging bag.
Let's go turn him into the guards. They'll take it from here.
Zach hauls Jesse back to his feet and leads him back towards town. Luckily, it's late at night, so very few people walk the street. The few who do give us long stares as we pass. When we arrive at the guard barracks, the person on duty gets to his feet. He looks at Leanna in recognition.
Oh, it's you again.
We found the source of your missing crystals.
Zach pushes Jesse forward and he stumbles into the guard, who grabs a hold of him. The guard eyes him and up and down.
It's this guy?
Oh man, it was all 'cause of Void!
Cause? You need an apostrophe if you're gonna use that as cuz. The guard stares at him, clearly unconvinced. Cuz as in shortened because, you know?
Uh-huh. Maybe in lockup you'll have time to think up a better story.
I'm telling you the truth, bitch!
You use words weird. The guard frowns and passes Jesse off to another guard, who takes him into the back. Then the guard turns back to us.
Hopefully you won't have any more issues.
The guard grins and looks relieved.
I can't thank you all enough. You have no idea how much of a thorn in my side this has all been. As promised, there's a reward for helping us catch the culprit.
He produces a heavy satchel of gold, which he hands over to us.
Thanks again for all your help, and I hope you have a safe night.
Am I just to assume that coin is gold, that there are only gold coins?
Thanks.
We leave the guard. Wait, no. There's also a train out there with it's just full of stuff, and that's where they were doing their thing. Are we not going to tell them that, really? Because that seems arguably the more important thing that we could have done. We leave the guardhouse and equally divvy up the reward money. As everything settles down, the group decides to return to the inn. I'm glad we got to the bottom of things, but I can't help but wonder what will happen to those kids. Nothing I can do. Share my reward with them. Yeah! What do I need it for? I'll meet you guys at the inn. I think I forgot something. I slip away before anyone can ask me any questions and make my way back to those kids. They were dependent on that crystal money to survive, and I can't sit by and do nothing to help them. I know I don't have much to offer, but maybe giving them a cut of my reward can help tide them over. Quietly, I enter the house so as not to spook the children. As I near the trapdoor, I hear Kara's voice. How did she get here so fast? And what is she doing here? Slowing my steps, I silently creep towards the trapdoor and spy on Kara and the kids.
Here you go, guys. Take this.
She hands the oldest boy a fat coin purse. We must have had the same idea about sharing our reward money. The boy silently accepts it, too shocked by the amount of money to even speak.
The man won't be coming for crystals anymore, so use that to help you find a new way to survive.
The boy nods numbly. Some of the younger children huddle together, clearly frightened for their futures. Kara smiles reassuringly.
I know it seems scary, but I promise if you stick together, you'll be fine.
The kids hug each other.
I won't let anything happen to anyone.
Good. I know you won't. Take care of yourselves, okay? And stay out of trouble.
Kara turns to leave and I scramble out of sight. She doesn't notice me as she hurries away. It seems like she's got a soft spot for these kids. I better do what I came here to do and get back before people get too suspicious. Hey, kids. I go down into the trap room. The oldest boy looks up at me in surprise. Here. I toss him a small bag of my coins, which he fumbles before catching. He looks genuinely surprised, as if he can't believe it's happening.
But why?
If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have caught the bad guys. You kids were a big help.
Really?
He looks at the other children, who give him hopeful eyes. Then he grins.
Thank you.
I nod. I should be getting back. Once I return to the upstairs, I hear the children scramble below and a series of excited gasps as I inspect the reward money.
Wow,
We
the
did
girl
it
gave
good.
us so much.
I've never seen so much money before in my life.
The boy still gave a lot, though. More than we got from crystals.
Whoa, just how much money did Kara give? Was it her whole reward? It seemed like it. For a treasure hunter, that seems very generous. Maybe there's more to it. I wonder what it could be as I return to the inn and meet up with the rest of the group. I mean, even that is a little bit of a blow to her character, like the thought that my main character had. Just because, like, she's even expressed herself that it's not about the money anymore. Like, she started treasure hunting for the money, yes, she said that. But at this point, a lot of it is just the fascination with the history behind everything, you know? The artifacts and the stories that she can imagine of the people related to those items. And so, you know, just me being like, wow, instead of giving some money, she gave all the money? Like, if you don't need the money, why would you... Yeah, anyway. Cue outro, go!